Hello and welcome to AM Guitar. I am Anjay and this is the NUX 6IXTY 5IVE. Now, a huge thank you to NUX for sending this out to me. Unusually for one of these reviews, what I'm going to do is actually play you a clip of a song I've written, a full song including my dulcet tones, where all of the overdrive sounds are done using the 65, and I'll show you some pictures of the 65 and a few bits of info about it, and we'll come back into me talking at you. So that's the track. So everything was done with the 65. Spoiler alert, this is one of my favourite overdrives ever. Budget pedal, around 50 quid. But just sounds fantastic. Very similar to a Timmy. Probably based on a Timmy or a variation of the Timmy. They say it is meant to give you that sound of a 65 Fender-like amplifier. I think it does a great job. Let's sort of look at it in a bit more detail. You have, as you saw in the video, you've got a bass, treble, you've got volume, and you've got gain. And at the top, you've got a trim pot for saturation. Now, I'm not going to play with the trim pot, but as you saw in the video, it's easily accessible because quite often trim pots are internal. This one, you can stick a screwdriver right on the top and it will work lovely. I've got it set to halfway. And again, as you saw in the video, it's got an accessible battery compartment at the back, which again is really useful rather than to unscrew things to get into. So I'm going to play through it a little bit and then let you come to your own conclusions. So today I am using the Maybury Upcycler floorboard. I'm going into my Carl Martin Ampster, straight into the computer. This is my clean tone with a bit of reverb, bridge pickup. And I'm going to put everything at 12 and hit the on button. So you can instantly hear you got grit. It's not exactly transparent. So this is without. So there seems to be a bit of a mid-check, but not as much as, say, a tube screamer. So it's relatively transparent. So I am going to roll the gain all the way off. So with the gain all the way off, you get kind of it's that make better button type feeling. It just makes the tone feel a bit nice, a tiny bit of grit. And it never strays into distortion. It's very quiet. There's no real background noise, even at full gain. And then it cleans up with the volume control nicely. Now I'm going to put this round about midday again. I'm going to play with the tone controls. So that's the bass control all the way off. So you can get to a point where you're almost muddy, but not quite, which I really like as well. So with the treble all the way on, it makes the neck pickup, which can sound a little bit kind of woolly, real clarity as well. So my favourite setting generally, and what I recorded most of that song on, is gain halfway, volume halfway, bass halfway, treble just slightly on. It's just such a great overdrive. It doesn't colour the tone too much unless you really want it to. The bass and the treble controls give you that little bit of extra control over how the sound is going to feel in the mix a little bit more. The saturation control, so I'm not playing with it on this one. The saturation control just adds a little bit more grit to the to that gain control. And really, as I said, it is instantly one of my favourite overdrives ever because it just sits beautifully in a mix. And then you can just make it stand out a little bit with that treble control. You can add a bit of oomph to a single coil with the bass control. But it doesn't do that big mid hump that your tube screamers will do. And again, I love a tube screamer, but it just feels that little bit more transparent. So that is the 65 Overdrive. I'd love to know what you think about it. Now, I know it is very similar to a Timmy and a few other sort of Timmy type clones out there. I'd love to know what you think about it, considering it is a budget pedal, around £50, I believe. Great value for money, built like a tank, sounds great, instantly going on the pedal board. Get in the comments, let me know what you think, like, subscribe, and I will speak to you again very soon.